Hi, filming this today from the car on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a follow and a like. We'd appreciate it. Back again today with another true story. This one is called The Guy in the Trunk. It was a Sunday morning in the South Bronx. I told you Bronx stories are different. South Bronx stories could be very different. We got this weird 911 call about noises coming out of the trunk of a parked vehicle, possibly someone stuck in the trunk. So I was a supervisor at this point, so we go over there. Basically everybody that was working showed up at this job to see what was going on. Found the car that they mentioned. As we approached, definitely sounded like somebody was in the trunk. We were able to get the trunk open, and there he was. There's a man in the trunk. There was a rope around his hands, very loosely. That's important. That comes in later. And like a piece of duct tape, just barely hanging off his mouth. That's very important. Of course, I said, "Oh my God, sir, are you okay? What happened?" So he goes into this big story about how some guys kidnapped him, stole his car, drove him all over the Bronx, different places. He wasn't exactly too sure where he was at the time. But at some point they tied him up, they put duct tape on his mouth, and they put him in the trunk of his car. And when the night was over, they parked the car and just left him there. So take him to the hospital, get him checked out. If he indeed was in the trunk of a car all night. And the only thing he told me was, "Please call my wife." "No problem, sir. You've been through enough. You call your wife, tell her you're okay." So in the meantime, I'm calling downtown, letting them know what's going on, because this is a big deal. Call his wife. That's when everything comes to fall apart. The woman is like, "That is not my husband. That is my ex-husband. He was here last night. He's not supposed to be here. He stole my car." Wow. Run the guy's name in the computer. Sure enough, 30, 40 arrests. Domestic violence history. She has a full order of protection against him. His license has been suspended many times. I think it's a felony 511, felony suspended license. So even if he didn't steal the car, he's not supposed to be driving any car because his license is suspended so many times. I called my cop that was sitting on him in the hospital. I was just like, "Cuff this motherfucker." I headed to the hospital. I just looked at him. I was like, "You lying piece of shit." I was like, "Come on, we're going." Dragged him out of the waiting room. Drove him back to the precinct. The whole time he was pleading with me, Lieutenant this, please, please." Screw you. You wasted all this time and resources. Probably went out for a night of partying, and you needed a car. So you stole your ex-wife's car, and you knew she was going to call the cops. So to get yourself out of trouble, you concocted this whole story. Meanwhile, I'm calling downtown. We notified detectives from 3 different precincts because we weren't sure where this happened exactly. So, and it was a big deal. And I got back to the precinct. I had to write this long report, about what had happened, the whole story. And as I'm writing, I started to feel happy. I was like, this is a long, complicated report, and I'm gonna make a lot of overtime writing it. So, because I don't write too fast, I don't type too fast, I should say. So, got a little bit of revenge for that, for the, annoyance, let's just say. People are liars. That's a true story.